attack the bottom lane. Attack Kagame, the weakest link right now for Win. Try and put him at a deficit. And then for Win, my biggest question to see is, can they finally start to draft where it's not just 100% Shadow and Libero? Because they always get good drafts for Shadow and Libero. They've got a deep champion pool, multiple ways to play around them. We see, late game scaling like Vladimir come out from Shadow. We've seen the aggressive early and aggressive mid game. Now I just want to see get Kagame on something that's not Ezreal.
Because I want to see, especially in this matchup, is LYB are the kind of team that they actually take objectives quite slow in the early part of the game. Turret average for them at 15 is actually even dead zero. On average, they actually take no turrets before 15 minutes. You're taking now against Win, who are the fastest playing team in the LST. Can LYB slow them down long enough that we get into that mid to late game where those team fights become a more stronger point here? We can see these bans already coming through.
Look at what both teams are doing. Win going, let's take away key picks that would punish bottom lane heavily. LYB, Cabbage has done his homework.
Wow.
Get rid of R-Hedge's bridging champion. Zoe's been a fantastic pick for R-Hedge, and it normally bridges Shadow and Libero into what would happen into the bottom lane. Like, they would cover for the bottom lane they wouldn't be able to cover for the bottom lane if R-Hedge wasn't able to bridge that gap between top and bot side. Then you see the Puppy ban out here, taking away one of the very comfortable picks for Gamza. Strong top side bans come out from LYB. Already good bans from both teams.
We'll see here. Final one is going to be the Silas banned out. So another jungle being targeted.
And flex between Shadow and Libero. Libero's had so many MVP performances on Silas as well. You've got to get rid of the champion.
Now, for Win, do you want to prioritize, like we mentioned, something toward the bot side of the map? You pick the Yuumi. Your LYB here. What do you want to do? You want to try and take away the Sivir right away?
Especially with the Nautilus being banned out here. It's a really good first pick coming out from Win, putting some priority on the bottom side of the map. I would like to see LYB go towards taking away Sivir now and then making it so that Win have to force their top side picks early, giving James a late counter pick.
We could see also Tristana here for LYB. It's going to get locked in. So we'll have to see whether or not this is going to be either a solo lane or Gary on the champion. Is that just Gamza throwing down the gauntlet here and saying, I'll go toe-to-toe with Shadow?
Well, Tristana does very well into the Yuumi matchup because you can jump on top of Yuumi when you disengage. Nice from Win, though.
Yeah.
This is what we've wanted to see from them all season. Get a strong bottom lane where Kagame and What the Jess can do well. Because Sivir's going to be able to push up this wave nice and easy. We're not on 9.16 where Sivir's Ricochet has been nerfed quite significantly in the laning phase. And they still get one of their priority picks of Elise in the jungle. So very good drafting coming out for Win. And another great thing was when we saw What the Jess playing roaming supports like Tahm Kench, which also would have been fine here if Yuumi wasn't left up. They were happy to leave Kagame on Sivir in the bottom lane, just clearing waves. Just clear waves and be the extra turret you need to make sure they can't take anything bottom side. Keep the AD carry and support preoccupied, and then use What the Jess to rotate around the map with the strong duo of Shadow and Libero. Now that they've got the Yuumi and Sivir bottom lane, you can still do that. Yuumi can still go pair up with these two duo, make them even stronger, and just allow Kagame to continue, clearing out waves bottom side. But already, such good adaptation coming out from Win.
LYB here, though, already showing a bit of their hand. Possibility of now this Gragas going down into the bot lane as a support, as we do see the Jarvan likely getting locked in here for Doidoi, unless we're seeing, a lane Jarvan or something come out of here.
And I talked to Cabbage when they played against Mega, and he said that he had some interesting picks ready to use against either Win or Mega.
We didn't see it during the Mega.
We didn't show it in their match against Mega, and he said that it's a very specific play that they're trying to look towards, and they want to try and hold it as long as possible. But this could be the time. Game 1 against Win, if they can go towards that 2-0, secures themselves second. So I think they're really trying to throw everything they've got in this first game, try and get that first win to see if there's a possibility. If not, they might just go back to playing standard and saving the rest of their strategy and tactics that Cabbage has prepared towards the actual playoffs.
Let's see here. Kiana was getting locked in, likely for X's in. Now the Akali here for Win. Again, could be flexed between Shadow and R-Edge. Last pick here. Looks like that is going to be an Akali in the mid lane and a Camille going to the top side of the map.
That's brutal. That is an aggressive top side of the map. Pick champions of Camille as well as Elise. And then you've also got the Akali to bring the damage. The only problem I see here for Win is there's not much of a front line, whereas LYB have a really good team finding composition again.
There it is. You're going to have now the Cataclysm locking down members if you can roast them on that Rumble ultimate as well. This is kind of what we expected of this matchup. Win going for early aggression in the top side of the map through this Elise jungle. Now for LYB, we're seeing more of that team fight.
It's a kill lane bottom lane. It's not going to be Gragas. It's going to be Java kill lane with Tristana in the bottom lane. This is a hyper-aggressive lane coming out from LYB. And we talked about, we've already seen the Jarvan support, but it was a bit of a troll pick. Jarvan is a kill lane bot. We've seen it in so many different examples. We've seen Jarvan Pantheon in lower and tier leagues before. We've seen Jarvan Leona in professional LCS games a few seasons back. This is a kill lane bot. Anything that could dive in with Tristana could go for a kill lane, and they're really trying to punish this bottom lane win.
Already seeing the heat turn up in Game 1's draft. We'll see how it transitions onto the Rift.
Is that a Camille mid?
It is.
Is that a Camille
They didn't
mid?
switch. We're seeing Camille win. And we got Shadow on the Akali. Going against
back on Akali. Oh, they played
Started
a trap.
Oh, Shadow!
It's a trap.
There we go. Throwing the bot side up toward the top, trying to get a cheeky start.
I'm excited.
Are they doing a lane swap here?
Oh, Dodoy.
He knew he was close.
Look at how much preparation LYB have already done into this.
You have
play.
a lane swap here already. We haven't seen a lane swap
since Gigabyte Marines played with turret plating lane swap. Now it's still possible. Lane swap is still very possible. There's a few key champions that can do it very effectively. For Win, they don't have the duo damage lane swap. Yuumi can pop out, but it's more useful as a support that just buffs up an 80 carry.
And look at this. You have Shadow, I think, trying to pretend he's given a leash, but there's a ward down on that blue buff.
So they know.
LYB know this. They're hiding. They've actually shown already.
That's some good information, but let's talk about this lane swap very quickly. With Tristana, you have the opportunity to burst down these turrets. Shadow's not going to get any farm here. So what LYB are effectively saying is we're going to completely disrupt your strong and aggressive early topside plays. And for that, we will sacrifice first turret. They will still get a turret.
We also got double jungle.
For now, this is a very common lane. Have you not seen lane swaps before?
It's been a while since I've seen
normal. Gamza helps the jungle, lets Dodoy farm out, and then now you've got Dodoy making a choice. Does he go down and play original TSM lane swap, where you see him go towards a B double top and jungle down there? Sorry, original pre-TSM lane swap.
Yeah.
And then post-TSM lane swap, where it's just you dive the solo lane and kill that person as fast as possible. Libero very smart here. He's going in towards the jungle, trying to take something away while this lane swap's going on, because this is the weak side jungle for the side of LYB, so he can steal camps away here.
Oh, they saw it just a little too late, though. Gamza gets a little bit of damage, but Libero already has himself the treasure, and that was the blue buff. Gamza, this is rather risky.
Oh, he's in trouble. He's going to get dove. What are you
He's
doing,
gonna
Gamza?
Gamza, what are you doing? Get back underneath tower if you're going to do it. Going to flash away. What the Jess does take some turret aggro. Libero's just going to jump in. He's got Lapel already, and that's going to be first blood. He catches what the Jess, and he trades it back. First turret plate, though, will go in favor of Win, and a teleport immediately from Gamza.
And I don't fault them because lane swaps are so uncommon in the current meta. I mean, in fact, unheard of, unseen.
You haven't seen it for literally a season.
That you're not quite sure what to do in these lane swap situations. If you walk into lane like that, at least it's going to dive you. Very well played by Libero, but unfortunately, what the Jess was the one tanking the turret aggro, not able to get anything done there. Now, talk about the turret plating. Top lane's turret is slightly more fortified than bottom lane, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So, it's going to be much harder to push down that top lane turret. You can already see first turret plating already taken by the bottom lane. Top tower has not taken any just yet. But Demolition and Tristana means she can make up for the fact that turret is much stronger. At the same time, Shadow's getting no CS. Rumble doesn't care. Rumble hits level 6 and goes, I've got my base damage, I've got an ulti to wave clear, I'm going to be perfectly fine. Whereas Akali needs items in order to be incredibly effective. She can't just rely on her base damage because she'll have no survivability. She won't be able to get into these fights. And now Java could just leave her alone because Tristana does fine in the solo lane.
We'll see Doi Doi over here. Has Predator, has popped it. Libero. Here we go. Doi Doi goes over the wall, and they're going to go ahead and start up the red buff. Libero,
They're calling everyone over. This could be a skirmish.
We'll see. Tristana's also heading down. Blue buff going down about 700 is going to reset. No one's going to walk away with it. Libero should be able to reset it and take it back.
But again, pulls Akali away from this lane. And the entire time we've seen all this chaos here.
We're doing it again.
We haven't even talked about Camille in the mid lane just yet. They're just going to be like, okay, this is our blue buff. You
This actually
time?
should go to Doi Doi. It's going to be a toss-up. He doesn't contest, but he is wasting time on Shadow.
But still, good secure coming out from Libero. Able to maximize his burst damage in order to pick it up. And Gems is very happy right now. He's like, okay, I've avoided the critical fail point of this lane swap. He's died once, but he picked up a kill in return, so it's not too bad. And now he's just going to be able to happily farm underneath this turret. However, this whole time, Shadow's doing a good job himself. He is farming effectively. He's not at the threat of being dove just yet. Libero is close by. Hammers is just poking away with this Jarvan support, by the way, making sure he keeps getting these flags down for a bit of extra damage.
It's a little poke here and here. See, now demo. This should be the tower. Losing a turret plate. Gary still gets it. Doi Doi was waiting here for Libero the whole time, though. As Libero tried to go over the wall, doesn't have the repel available. Can't go to anything at this point. Doi Doi might just hunt down the spider, or at least try and force out a flash. James, here we go. Exit over the wall. Connects on the route, and he finds himself the kill.
Beautiful coming out from LYB, rotating as a team to continue to pin down the duo of Shadow Libero. I was wrong. I thought they were attacking Kagame and What the Justice game, but this time they've gone, you know what? We're just going to use our bottom lane to attack your top side and hope that your bottom lane can do the same. This is unorthodox coming out from Cabbage and just frankly beautiful to watch. This is amazing.
2-1, 6 minutes. LYB are slightly behind. Most of that has been done, but guess what? Doi Doi is not stopping, and he's going to go ahead, connects in on the Predator, and Exon gets another kill, 2-0 on the Kiana.
Doi Doi is having a field day. The loss that LYB had against Mega was not Doi Doi's day. He was having such a horrible time in the jungle, but coming back into this, looking much better. Gamza might be in trouble, though. There could be a dive.
He's only got 300 health here. Libero is nearby. He's already popped the shield. Going to wait for the minion wave to push back. Gamza knows what's coming. He's trying to heal up as best as he can. Might go overheated. It won't matter there, but the Libero is going to be able to pick up the kill, and turret plates are going to be taken.
Very nice coming out from Gamza. Sorry, not from Gamza, from Libero. Understanding exactly how lane swaps work. Diving that weak lane nicely. So for win, even though that this lane swap is doing well for LYB in the laning phase itself, Shadow's level 6 and he has not died. Rumble has not been farming, and that bottom lane turret is going to fall. Meanwhile, top lane has not taken much damage at all. Tristana and Jarvan have not gotten the demolition that they need to in order to make this lane swap effective.
See Doi Doi try and make his way down to bot lane, but like you mentioned, this first brick gold is going to go in favor of Win to start things off. Gary only getting the second turret plate just now.
And these are the times where you really need...
He might just all in James. He might just try.
No,
Gets
he's in
pushed
trouble.
back. Oh,
He
no.
goes-
Rocket!
Oh!
Oh, you serious, Gary? Oh, no. Shadow gets back to safety.
Able to use that shuriken toss in towards the Shadow to jump back in. But these are the times where you need Doi Doi top. Doi Doi needs to be up there in order to help with the dives on towards Akali. But Akali is just so safe. If she gets it towards the Twilight Shroud, you can't see her anymore. Tower dive unsuccessful. But they're finally getting some damage on towards this. They will trade back a turret. They lose a dragon as the objective, but they've done what they wanted. LYB have bridged the first 8 minutes of this game, which means that now, the same thing as Empire, they've shut down the deadly part of Win's playstyle, the first 10 minutes. And they've made it so they're getting closer towards teamfight status without being put behind by Win.
On top of that, too, denying the top side of the map, one of the key components for Win in the early game before that 20-minute mark is Rift Herald. They have taken Rift Herald in 89% of their games and have always used it to get that second-tier tower in the lane. This time around, though, LYB will have just natural priority up toward the top side of the map because they've already taken that tower. Whether or not they're able to deny the Rift Herald still, though, is the question.
And now you can really see why Cabbage is such a well-renowned coach. He knows exactly when to show his hand, exactly when to showcase strategies. And it's the perfect game to do so for LYB.
Oh.
Now it's up to their players to execute what he has planned for them. Good ward for Kagame will give him a bit of insight.
Let's see how far they're going to push up here. They see Gamza. No
Barrow's on
pings
his way
just
too.
yet. Here we go. Doidoi's going to show. That's going to be the equalizer coming out. Kogbe going to be the main focus here. Even with the spell shield, gets taken down. Gamza picks up the kill, and that's much needed gold onto the Rumble finally.
Trading 4 people top side of the map to get that single kill right as Rift Herald is going to spawn. Kagami will be back up in time. We'll be able to reset for it, but just trying to get some gold over towards Rumble, like you said. They're going to reset the lanes, make it so this lane swap is not as effective for Win because they have to bring him back into the lane itself, but they're looking for a dive onto Exo.
Nexusen's been in this lane. He's been able to get
He's got the
couple
grass.
kills. He's got grass. Can he have juke it? Here we go. Gets stunned up underneath the tower. They
What
don't
a
know.
stun.
He gets the ultimate. Orange is going to get taken down toward the tower. Using the ultimatum to try and save
What the
himself.
Jess?
But what the Jess gets separated from the
Oh!
team. The Cataclysm combo. And that's going to be another kill onto the Jarvan.
Beautifully played by Exo. Could
They're still
tell
going.
something was coming. Shadow might be in some trouble here. Here goes James.
There we go. James. He gets tagged. Libero, though, is the main target. He's burning. This spider won't be able to. Here's the repel. And he gets taken down. Shadow, though, picks up a massive shutdown.
Trades 1-for-1, does get the shutdown towards Dodo, but again, Liaba doing what they need to do, disrupting early game, making it so that they get into towards the team fight stage where Win aren't as strong. Playing to their win conditions and disrupting the win conditions of the team Win. Fantastic play style coming up from Liam. And I really like the micro play coming up from there. He could smell that something fishy was about to take place. Takes the grass element, gets ready to use the stealth ability from Kiana, immediately swaps back, throws the ultimate out to disrupt the dive, and allows his team to get there in time to save him.
That's going to be another turret plate here for Gary on this Tristana. Has been able to funnel a lot of gold here. James is nearby as well. Let's take another look here at the replay in
And
Exo.
watch, he's going to dip over, get the grass element. Takes it right here. So he's ready for the dive. He sees them coming in, immediately says, okay, go invisible, try and disrupt this, throw out the ultimate while they're next to the wall, and make it so that even though he goes down, the chances of his teammates who have gap closers are much higher to pick up return kills. And they get a 2-for-1 off of that, and they'll trade for a 3-for-2 at the end of the fight.
Yeah, just going a little aggressive here. James, again, he's not that tanky, so he can soak up the damage. Doi, though, is happy. And again, ooh, it was close there. It was almost turned back there by Libero. Down ball lane here. Oh, so James, you can't be that close.
Oh, but look at this damage.
Oh, no. Shadow, that's going to be it. Gary picks up the kill.
And the other thing about Tristana, yes, she's great at pushing turrets. She's great at going into these lane swap situations. But again, we see Tristana in solo lanes this split. She's very good at holding her own when her teammates can't be by her. And has such good mid-game burst damage right now.
Meanwhile, though, Rift Herald was taken by Win. All that focus down toward the bot lane. Win rotate up their 4 members, and they do secure the neutral objective.
Traded for a second turret in Liab's favor. I think Liab would still be very happy with this. 1-for-1 trade of kills. Again, another kill going their way. And they stay ahead in gold. They need to stay ahead in gold to get the team fighting faster.
Gamza, gotta be careful here. Has Equalizer available if he wants to use it. Repel's been already used.
You can't go anywhere.
They can't go anywhere. Cataclysm is also going to come out. They
Oh!
get separated, and now it's just mayhem. They take down the kitty. What the Jess is now going to be taken out. Libero's got nowhere to run. He'll get taken out, and Exo picks up his 3rd kill of the game.
So beautiful. Using the Jarvan Rumble composition is something we haven't seen in ages. Locking people down inside the Cataclysm, followed by the Equalizer to lay down the pain. And the quick thinking to knock the blast cone to separate the 2 players so they can't get over the wall back to safety. This is beautiful League of Legends from Liab.
With that, Liab have an extra 5 kills on the counter. See, though, Shadow's looking. Wants to jump in, not going to land the shuriken. Goes back into the cloak. He's got 4 members around him. He might try and go for the kill himself. Has to use the flawless execution, though, to get back to safety.
That's a big ultimate being burnt there. Won't have it for the next skirmish if it takes place shortly.
Here we go, Exon trying to fish over the wall, but here we go. This is the pick potential of this competition. Hextech Ultimatum going to come out, and they find themselves a Kiana. Teleport coming in. Gamza doesn't have ult at this point. They re-engage over toward the side. They get R-Edge, but Gamza's going to get taken down. Gary still alive. Double kill for the Sivir. It's a 4v3, though. Liab need to back off.
Difficult fight for Liab to take. You can see Axel thought that he had it with the flash to get away from R-Hedge just stunned, but the ultimate came out shortly after. Shadow being knocked back in.
Oh, James got to be careful. Almost took the shuriken. Well, the Jess is nearby. Do they commit to this? James, ooh, gets the
out.
safety. Doi's now caught out, and he's going to get taken down. Gary, though,
Gary!
he goes big and takes down the Akali.
I don't like that he used the ultimate there, though, Gary. He was able to get all the procs onto his satchel charge if he wanted to, and he wouldn't be able to jump straight back onto his Water Jess and kill the very squishy Yuumi, but instead goes for the safe play, gets the kill. Meanwhile, Riptail's been thrown down in the mid lane after turret planings, gives them back that turret.
Take down the mid lane tower, but he is still...
Ooh,
they're going to
closes
want
the
that
eye.
one. Still, though, you take a look at the totals. In most cases, this is how Win likes to play. They have their turrets, but in response here, LYB have 2 turrets of their own. They've been able to equalize that gold surge we see from Win.
And you can see how playing the... Sorry, you can see how LYB are really playing towards the weakness of Win and... Sorry, towards their win conditions instead of Win's win conditions. Win are normally 3,500 gold ahead of the opposition at 15 minutes. LYB are normally 1,600 gold ahead of the opposition at 15 minutes, and it's LYB who have that 1.6k gold lead. Getting closer and closer to team fights, LYB have a team fighting composition. Win do not. LYB are a team fighting team. Win are a pick team with a pick composition. This is looking really good for LYB. They just can't drop the ball in this crucial stage where there are still opportunities for Win to find these picks, bring the gold back in their favor, start knocking down structures, and slowly turn it back into the style of game that they like to play.
Some item pickups now coming onto the board. We got Leandri's completed for the Rumble. You also have the Hex Tech completed here for Shadow. Essence Reaver here for Kagame. Here we go. That's going to be the Cataclysm locking down the Sivir. Going to be a teleport immediately used here by R-Hedge in response. James a little far from the rest of his team. He's going to get taken down. A good response from Win.
And you can see how much Kagame he had nerves of steel there. He knew if I hold on to my flash and just outlive this one, Yuumi can protect me and allow the teleport to come through. LYB biting off way more than they could chew there. There was no reason to overextend for that engage against a pick comp because you're just going to get traded back.
Oh no, and the vision denial coming out from Win, but still Gamza, he's burning them up. Doi gets back to safety. That's a huge ultimate, and the team fight is here for LYB as they're able to turn it back. Kagame, he's caught out. He doesn't have any friends, and the crit comes through from the Tristana.
Beautiful from Doi. Uses the stasis. Flash body slams instantly to get as maximum distance as possible while Kiana comes in for the AoE stun inside the jungle, and Gary just doing Gary things, resetting. He's 4-0-2 on Tristana.
And man, here's the thing for Win. If you're able to get that catch, great. If you're not, though, and you're, like you mentioned, in the middle of the jungle, you're against a Kiana that excels in these choke points. You're against a Rumble, didn't have ults, and Gamza might not have a life anymore, has himself the Overlord, gonna try and turn it around, but unfortunately, not close enough to the tower, and R-Hedge is going to take him down.
It's a mid lane Camille. She's been able to farm up. R-Hedge is 125 CS in comparison to the 81 that Rumble's been able to pick up. So he's a level ahead as well. However, during this time, LYB were able to take a turret for themselves. So they maintain that 2,000 gold lead stretch. It's not significant, but it means going into team fights, they're not going to be at a deficit, which is crucial for their composition and something we're going to keep harping on till we see that first big team fight.
Calm down. You take a look here at the map.
Don't you tell me to calm down, Opal. This is an exciting game of League of Legends.
Calm down,
I
Fish.
will fight
It's
you.
a breath. It's a breath, a breather. As LYB have started to litter their jungle with defensive ward coverage. Win right now, it's looking pretty dark on their side of the map. Do have control boards, though. They're going to start fishing those out. As the waves are going to push back in toward LYB as they currently sit at about a 1,500 gold lead. Gamza got to be a little bit careful. Shadow's hunting through the jungle. James can't come around the corner.
Like
He's gonna
drag.
oh no,
no!
he missed! Small mistakes could cost you. Shadow goes over the wall. Do they try and turn it back around? James ends up using the Cataclysm, but Gary can't help you out there. There's the Rumble ultimate coming out from left field.
It was a trade back there. R-Hedge was able to die somewhere else in the map, so pick for pick happening.
A little bit of miscommunication there, it seemed.
James with the, I saw the Kali and I was scared. He just wants the flag drag, and he's like, drag?
Wait, where's
Where's
the
my
flag?
Where's my flag? I need my flag. A pick for pick though, so it doesn't speed up the tempo of the game for anyone.
I like the idea. You know, you did have Gamza nearby with the ultimate. Just a little late to the party, though. So
LYB are really just waiting, though, for the second Zeal item of Gary's to be complete, giving him 75% crit. When that happens, He's bridged. So Tristana kind of works like Caitlyn. Strong early game. Slightly stronger mid game than Caitlyn, but overall a little bit weak. Then late game becomes a monster because of her range, because of the items she can pick up, and her attack speed steroid on her Q, which is maxed out at rank 5. So Gary's even foregone a point in his E to get faster attack speed. So when he gets that item, that should signal LYB to go, we can start fighting, because you're going to get the Zeke's Harbinger from James buffing up the Tristana, the flag buffing up Tristana's attack speed steroid, and then the rest of the wombo combo coming in. So they're going to have a good team fight coming up soon. I'd like to see them continue to play safe. They're not behind. They're ahead of win right now. If they continue to play safe, continue to farm, just get Gary towards that breaking point, then they can start looking for these big fights.
Let's see here, LYB.
Ooh, forcing. They know Akali's bot lane at least was top.
Yeah. Camille's still up there. Gams is here. They can easily take a 5v3, 5v4 if they wanted to, and that's going to be a second-tier tower.
That's nice. LYB just go, okay, we know Camille's top. We saw at least push towards top side. We know that there's a player in the bottom lane as well. We can take this for free. Let's take the Dragon quickly after. Track where Win go. Baron is up, so it's always a possibility they could rush towards the objective. And I think they're going to do the opposite. They're going to beeline towards top side, towards the inner turret, which Camille has set up for them, and try and push for that. The thing is, if LYB are comfortable fighting with Tristana holding on to so much gold without spending it on that second zeal item, this is a perfect position to fight for them.
Look at this, though. A little bit of hesitation comes out from LYB. They go the safe route, and they don't go for the fight, it seems. Win are able to back off.
They need to get Tristana back to base. She has the most gold of this game and hasn't spent it in so long. That is a waiting zeal item to be complete, which would be devastating for these team fights, especially because nobody from Win is a tank. The tankiest item you've got is a Ninja Tabby and a Sterix Gauge or Jorum's Fist. So when she completes that second zeal item, she's going to rip through the team and have resets onto squishy champions.
See, Gams is going to continue the split push down in bot lane, has teleport available. Same with Gary.
It's a Phantom Dancer as well, so even more survivability being picked up by Gary. Will get the shield when he falls below certain hit points. Doesn't have fleet footwork, so no lifesteal coming up for Tristana just yet. You'd expect that to be the next item just to survive against all the damage that can come out. Mercurial Scimitar is nice too to prevent being picked by something like Elise.
Doing. James going to go ahead, clear out the ward. Gotta be careful. LYB at times, while they're trying to scout for vision, have been caught out. You see our edge there, so understand. All right. There could also be another member nearby. Oof.
That's a chunky Gragas right now.
He's got Morellos.
He's got Morellos. Don't quite like the Morellos, but you do want to get as much healing reduction as possible against an Akali and Camille, so why not? Not the biggest fan of that as a rushed item, but he still does a lot of damage, so why not?
Doidoi James, is this worthwhile? Is a control ward. They secure it. Scuttle, though, goes in favor of Win.
That's all Win want. They just want to control that Scuttle Crab, make it so that if LYB try to push for a Baron, which they can do now. 22 minutes in, Tristana now has that item breakpoint. They can start baiting for Baron. Scuttle Crab means they have invulnerable vision over this river for a short period of time, and they can scout out if they try to go towards this.
And another thing about the Scuttle, I know I've talked to Andrew back over in Lek about this too, that movement speed becomes very underrated, especially when you have a Sivir too. Those fights can be skirmishing.
Hang on, they've got a flank. Libero might be walking into a trap!
Libero, gotta be careful. He sees him with the orb, but oh no, it doesn't go well. And now, here's the call. Equalizer cuts the team down. RH gets back to safety though. Shadow caught out toward the side. Do Win try and turn this back into their favor? Shadow gets over the wall with the flawless execution, but the Baron will be started.
Exactly. You just go towards Baron. You say you've got no jungler. If you want to fight us, you're going to turn us into a 4-on-5. Ultimate's burned by Sivir. Everyone from LYB except for Gamza has theirs. They're going to try for this.
They're just going to call for mid lane though here. Win don't even care. They say, all right, we're going to go ahead, take the mid lane tower. We accept there's a chance that we will lose more if we try and contest this.
That's an aggressive trade as well. They just go, you know what, like you said, we'll take mid lane turret. You can have your Baron. We're not going to contest you on that 60-40 in your favor. Instead, we're going to take something, try and pull back that gold lead and survive a little bit longer than we might have otherwise.
So patience here have paid off for LYB. They're able to lay down the trap, deny the vision. One catch equals one Baron. See, though, if they're able to make more of it here for the next 3 minutes as Win now look to defend.
But it's taken 6 series for us to finally see the super team of LYB because they've been okay this split. They looked like the super team last split, but they didn't draft like it. And they've drafted like a super team this split, but they haven't played like it. Now we finally get both. They drafted like a super team. They have strategically played the game like a super team, and their mechanics still make them look like all-stars as well. This is much better coming out from LYB, and no one has been so dominant against Win in any match. And dominance means 3,000 gold in this case.
Doi again, though, he's been a victim of getting caught out. And that will be enough to actually force LYB to have to back off. Gary does secure a red buff on the way out.
Sorry, Caster's curse again. But this is what you have to watch out for. Your team fighting composition. Your jungler is an AP Gragas. You need to play as a team. If Elise catches you in one cocoon, and either Arhead, Shadow is there, even if Kagami shows up, you're dead. You're just going to die.
And I didn't get to mention this during pregame that much, but Doi has been kind of known to be a little bit feast or famine at times because he is often the first person to get first blood on LYB, but oftentimes he has been caught out with that aggression and peeking blindly into brushes. We've already seen it twice this game.
But you can see now how much Win are struggling. Look at Kagami. He's gone for double Brawler's Gloves. He's like, okay, I've got my Infinity Edge and Essence Reaver. That's 250. That's 50% crit. And he's got, I need crit now. I need to be able to do something in these fights because of LYB's composition's online. Double Brawler's Gloves. So very little attack speed on his Sivir, but a lot of crit available for the fights.
See, Shadow pops in. Going to pop back out there. As they're going to go ahead and start up this Cloud Drake. So we're going to see ourselves now with two of them underneath LYB's belt. Have a little bit extra movement speed going through the map. Next one's going to be Ocean. No Infernals or Mountains being shown here in Game 1. 5-man stack here in mid. Have a cannon minion, so they might be able to get a little bit of tag damage onto this tower. Choke points, though, can be lethal against sieging teams, especially here, and Libero could go for a flank. We see the engage come out from Doi. Doesn't find it. Libero over the wall, immediately jumps in onto Exodus, and they take him down. Equalizer comes out from the Rumble, but it's nowhere, and LYB in a team fight here look lost as Win are able to turn around the siege.
Such a big pick coming out from Libero, able to find Kiana, who has no way to get out of that stun. Immediately throw the damage down, making it a 4-for-3 trade. Credit to LYB having some good mechanics from players like Gary. Doesn't blow the flash immediately. Doesn't try to jump out of Hextech Ultimate. Instead, hold on to the ultimate. Knocks Camille back and then uses the jump and flash to try and get to waves from some crucial skills and damage that win throughout. But my goodness, Libero showing time and time again. He might have a pick composition on his team, but he knows damn well how to make it into a team fighting comp.
That was nasty. Flash Cocoon over the wall. Barely any time for Exin to react, and that Baron power play goes negative just off that one play from the jungle.
And LYB really need to start setting up here. They're not moving their vision down properly when it comes to these plays. They're not sweeping out vision on the side areas to see if Libero swings in for a pick or if Camille can swing in for a pick. And now they've gone for a hard reset. You're dead even on gold. Composition is on your side. Your carry is scaling much faster at this point. You need to start setting up for things before you knock them down. Because if not, you leave opportunities for Libero to make great plays like that.
See now, LYB, you got yourself a 1,500 gold lead, but we're starting to get at that point where 1,500 doesn't matter. It's going to come down to vision. And Win are one of those teams that heavily likes to deny it when possible. Both teams been caught out by just vision denial alone. We saw it with the Baron play. We see it right there on the last push. 16-19, our kill score.
This is the calm before the storm. This is where Baron's not alive. Nothing to really push for. There's a couple of inner turrets here and there, but at this point, no team really wants to push past that river without the full squad available. It's a good time for Win to actually strike with the pick composition. So you've got to be a bit careful. You can't wander into enemy territory. But all you want to do if you're LYB right now is set up. Get ready for this next Baron. Make sure you're pushing out waves. Make sure Gams is dealing with bottom lane without being ganked. And then start getting ready for a team fight. And I mean a team fight, not a we get our mid laner picked and then try to fight after.
This is a hell of aggressive Elise we got coming out in this build.
Void
Third
Staff.
item, Void Staff. This is Libero saying, all right, if I catch anyone, I want to kill them if I'm going down.
Shadow was spotted out here.
Oh, maybe LYB are the ones caught out. Hamez over toward the side. Win do realize there was a ward put down, so they decide to back off. Again, both teams just pulling back here when it comes to the Vision game. Both showing respect. Doi got a little bit chunked out, so he has to be careful.
They just want
if you're
that
Win,
one
though,
board.
you're just trying to... If you've got to take a team fight, you take it in the lane. You can't take it in the jungle. You can't take it in the Baron pit
Or
against
off of a pick coming out from
Yeah.
Libero or R-Hedge. You really need to look for
this
that.
choke point, though. That is lethal.
If Gamza gets a good ultimate there and you're able to follow up on an actual fight, that could be lights out going towards LYB's favor.
Gary walking back. Gamza and them show. Again, back and forth here in the mid lane. One team steps up, the other goes. But here's the call. Helmez into the back. We got the Rumble ultimate onto 3 members, but they equally back out, and now the back line is attacked. Gary, though, is able to survive. Helmez gets taken down. LYB, they might have been off a little bit more than can chew. Orange re-engages. Shadow going to get knocked back over toward the side. They get X's in. That's the key member they're looking for. Gary's limping back to safety, but he's left alone to die by Doi, and that is going to be 3 members of LYB taken down. Win without any.
That should be it. Win have got. We don't want Baron. We're going to try and push for at least mid lane inhibitor, then reset for the objective after if we need. Teleport is available for Camille, so he can teleport on towards our media to try and get in towards this fight as well. But LYB, they're forcing these fights, Opal, and that's not how you need to play this. Forcing fights means that Win can split apart team fights, make it so that their individual champions can find small skirmishes within a big team fight and throw it back in their favor.
Well, exactly what we saw there. Win are happy if you're going to try and team fight them in the lane. There's just so much open area, especially a Camille. She doesn't care if she's getting jumped on. She's just going to slingshot out in Hextech Ultimatum your backline carry. And we saw Gary was forced to have to blow everything to get back to safety. Didn't even have flash and somehow survived a little longer. But now, Baron on the table for Win. And LYB have to respect this as Win now with the hammer.
Baron as well as a mid lane inhibitor taken down by Win. Back in their favor. 3,000 gold lead at this point doesn't mean all that much, Opal. Only about 5% worth of the entire gold these two teams have. So it's not going to do all that much. But with this Baron buff, they can start to slowly turn around the fact they're not a team fighting team. Be able to take a Constellation Dragon for themselves, but just an Ocean Dragon. Not going to help out too much.
Is going to be their 4th dragon of the game, though. LYB starting to have almost a backup opportunity that could be that Elder Drake. We've only seen one Elder Drake, though, in LST. The games usually don't last long enough for it to spawn.
Also kind of want to look at, I mean, Elder Drake's going to come up soon, but that's another place where, you know, Win can try and get control just like did over that Dragon Pit and just continue the mid lane dance. But I want to know, what is Hummus trying to force, Opal? He's jumping on top of Camille.
Yeah. Yeah, we've talked about this. This team would rather fight in the jungle where there's small choke points. Almost though, he wants to try and create choke points in the lane with the Cataclysm, but we've seen it multiple times. This Jarvan isn't going to one-shot any of these carries. He wasn't given gold like that. He was a support Jarvan. He is much more just utility-based.
It's also a much better game coming out from Kagame, even on CS, in fact, slightly ahead. You know, we get his items, going to push down this turret now. LYB are forced inside their base and they're being split apart the map.
Gary going a GA here. Interesting. That's going to be Inhibitor Tower taken down here.
They need to make a stand or they're just going to lose.
That's going to be it. They also lost their top lane. LYB could be losing all 3 of their inhibitors. They have to make the call here. It's a wide open space, though. Win, I think, are happy to fight this. LYB at some point have to decide when they're going to have to lose everything if they don't go for a fight.
Your last place to make a stand is going to be at your double turrets by the Nexus, but look at how much damage these cannons rip them apart, Opal.
Here we go. Doi wants to engage, gets the flash body slam, but immediately Gary, as Exocet getting taken down, ultimatum going to be popped here, and they take down Gamza. That's going to be the Rumble, taking out the Equalizer, wasn't able to even bring back anything, and our Edge gets back to safety, and like that, Win are able to turn this back in our game 1 as LYB fall.
Gary trying to do everything he possibly could at that final moment in the final team fight to pull it back for his team. Not going to be enough. Win My goodness, it looked like it was in Liab's favor the whole way. The strategy was perfect. Win were being torn apart. They got to the team fighting phase, but then just heroics coming out for Libero.
Oh, Libero.
Just the talent.
Over the wall in mid lane to prevent the Baron siege. And then that final one picking off Exozin. Exozin instantly deleted. We talked about this, Elise. He gets one pick, one bite.
That's it.
You're done.
You're done. And just playing it like an assassin. 3 different pick champions ready for it, and then Sivir to try and fill in the composition slightly. And I think the final team fight, although punished very well coming out from Win, very good punish in the final big team fight, not the one, the base one before that led to Baron. That was still, it felt like LYB playing their strategy so well and countering the hiccup and Libero's heroics on Elise, and then throwing it out the window. James jumping in there, locking down Camille, just meant that Win could turn around and say, we can now split this 5-on-5 into a 2-on-2-on-2 and a 1-on-1, which is perfect for them. They would love to rip apart a team fight into small little skirmishes, and that's where their composition does best. Whereas LYB really want to keep it tight, keep it together, keep it in the Jarvan ultimate, inside the ultimate.
Oh, this
and
Libero.
It's just Libero, just so perfect. Flash over, get Exo, you're dead, into a team fight.
I have to ask, I want to see the vision on that. That was almost blind coming out from Libero, predicting that Exozin would come back. And look.
You see Gary does well here. He's able to make sure he gets the kill, gets away from Camille, trades his life 1-for-1. But at that point, Libero's already done so much that single pick. Imagine if Kiana was alive still. Much different story of the team fights.
And again, Libero sees the opportunity. Exozin gets one crawling projectile. And he's just not in front of anything. Woo.
Actually disgusting. Libero having a fantastic play on the Elise, and as much as LYB had a really good strategy coming into this one, shut down here by Win today.
Yeah. And to say you're getting shut down during team fights, something that, you know, we praise LYB as our team fighting team when it comes to LST. They are often extremely clean, but like you mentioned, it felt forced.
Yep.
It felt like they took opportunities that weren't actually there.
I mean, it was all good from 10 minutes in when they finally got their first lead until 30 minutes. Still good. Good plays coming out from LYB. It's just because at 10 minutes, that was after the Elise got that single kill. When they're dancing around Baron, LYB had so much time. They scale really well into late game. They're team fighting composition. They could have just played it passive. Try and let Win make that mistake. Get the vision back in their favor. Fight around those choke points. But it said the force. James tried to force the fight. Cost him a lot there. Heroics coming out from Libero, though. He better be MVP or I'm going to smack this camera over. But still, unfortunately for LYB, they threw everything they had in that first game. And with that loss, they can no longer play second.
Yes, with that, LYB, unfortunately, can only place as high as third. And with that single win themselves are guaranteed a bye in playoffs.
As high as third, provided that LYB, Mega, and Win all win their remaining matches besides the series at hand, but a deserved MVP going to Libero.
Yeah.
I mean, that's he got caught out so much early because it's, you know, lane swap, something we haven't seen in a long time.
And it worked.
And he still played it very well. He still knew when to dive bot lane, when to come back for the return gank, when to push for that first turret. Still played it perfectly in the lane swap that hasn't been seen for the longest time. And then those double picks is beautiful to watch. Really well played.
Beautiful cocoons coming out there. Also calling Void Staff Morello. Hey, it's the job done.
It's the kill you build.
It's the kill you build.
It's the you dead.
And when you have a Yuumi on top of you too, giving you heals all the time, he was able to survive long enough with the repel as well. The rest of the team was able to follow up. So amazing job coming out from Win.
We didn't even get to talk much about the Camille pick. That was a beautiful pick coming out.
Oh
from
yeah.
Win. I don't think they
knew
it was going into a lane swap, but still did his job.
On top of that too, Exozin, he ended up rushing Moby Boots in mid lane, and he wasn't able to roam as much as he wanted to because that Camille was always locking him down. Either way, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, though, we still got at least one more game of this exciting series, so do stick around.